We are in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for this October East Division weekend of Major League Table Tennis. And a beautiful day by the beach has turned into a very pleasant evening as we get set for the nightcap on this Friday the 13th. It's the Princeton Revolution and the Chicago Wind to cap this opening night here at the Myrtle Beach Sports Center in the Palmetto State of South Carolina. Chicago and Princeton both struggled at times in the first MLTT weekend in Daytona Beach. So both these teams have had basically 4 weeks to contemplate, strategize, and make plans to rise up in the standings. We'll see which one of either the Wind or the Revolution can get closer to the Florida Crocs, who are now a perfect 4-0 in Golden Games, 4-0 in team matches, and with 55 points sitting atop the East Division. Welcome back inside the Myrtle Beach Sports Center, everybody. Evan Lepler with a 5-time USA National Champion, Sean O'Neill. And this Princeton Revolution team struggled in Daytona Beach. They've made some lineup changes. You think that'll be a difference tonight? Should be a big difference. What I'm looking for on the Chicago team is Dan Liu. He played shake hands in Daytona Beach. He's playing pen holder tonight, trying to change up his style of play. How bizarre is that for someone to make that change? It's really not so crazy because he was a pen holder player his whole life, and he's been changing and trying out shake hands. Now he says, it's too important. I got to win tonight. Well, this is a really important match for both Princeton and Chicago. Again, Princeton 0-3 in Daytona Beach, but they got some new imports, including Jishan Liang, who may get to face his wife later in the weekend. He's married to Hong Lin of the Carolina Gold Rush, but today in singles he's facing Sasha Hanin. And what do you think about this opening match here in this nightcap? Jishan Liang has huge power. He's a lefty with a monstrous forehand. He'll want to get it going early and fast. So Jishan Liang set to make his MLTT debut. Originally from China, now lives in Cary, North Carolina. And he's a left-hander. And we'll see how he fares against Sasha Hanin, who in the first MLTT weekend for the Chicago Wind went 4-2 in singles. Also played doubles once, went 1-2 in doubles. And this evening match will feature the 4 singles matches, the 1 doubles match, 15 total points on the line, leading into the Golden Game, at which point 6 points will be up for grabs. Chicago beat Princeton 21-11 in the Golden Game when these two teams met on September 16th in Daytona Beach. It was an 8-7 score heading into the Golden Game, but a 14-7 final with the Golden Game separation, and we're underway. And Hanin takes a 1-0 lead on Jishan Liang. How much does the experience playing MLTT matter? I think it matters the most in the gold medal game. I think that no one has really done that from somebody like Jiang coming in. You mean the Golden Game? Golden Game. Yeah, so it's going to be something that he has to get. What are you, an Olympian or something? But Jiang has no problem getting his forehand in. That is his bread and butter. Jishan, just look for him to step around his backhand. Backhand plays a lot of control, but the forehand, once he turns the corner, expect power. Princeton in the red, Chicago in the gray. And a good short ball from Jishan Liang. Grew up in China, came to the U.S. around the age of 19. Started working as a table tennis coach. 3-2. He sends it long, and we are even 3 apiece, just getting underway. Of course, in the Ocho Day Showcase back in August, the premier event for MLTT, we saw husband versus wife, David Zhuang and Joni Fu, coaching opposite sides. Sean, do you play table tennis with your wife? No, never. I consider my marriage very important.
But my daughter does play a little bit, so she keeps the tradition alive. Just with her friends at school.
I have to ask, what would happen if you play table tennis with your wife?
She would win.
No, she wouldn't.
Five all here in this opening game. What have you noticed about these first 10 points?
Just Jishan's really taking his time to get into his rhythm. Haneen's doing a nice job of moving the ball around. But both of them are kind of looking for the speed and tempo that they're going to be able to do in games 2 and 3. There's a nice holding of the table by Jishan.
That was nifty.
It's okay to give up the big shot if you can cover the return. Jishan just puts it onto the table nice and easy. Nice backhand by Haneen.
And these two teams battled on September 16th. Sasha Haneen faced off against Jinshin Wang. Beat him 3 straight. All 3 were very close games.
That was one of the reasons that Princeton decided to sit him this evening.
We'll see Wang tomorrow and on Sunday, but not tonight. 8-7 lead now for Haneen.
These are really big points for Chicago. And Haneen again gets that quick backhand into play. It's one way to take Jishan Liang's forehand away, is to make the first quick attack, get him on his heels.
Now here in the opening game. Chicago win coached by Eric Owens.
Look at that big forehand by Jishan Liang. Just powered the ball down the line. No chance for a return.
9-all. T.S. Habasan enjoyed that. He's the coach of the Princeton Revolution. These next couple points could set the tone. And Liang takes the lead at 10-9.
With the serve.
Missed it. 10-all. We did not have a single golden point in the Carolina-Florida match earlier this evening, but it does not take long to get 10-10 here in Chicago. Princeton, it's not win by 2. Remember, Haneen will serve. This next point decides the opening game. And Haneen caught the edge to take game 1. My goodness.
11-10 takes game number 1 over.
Just a great combination third ball attack here. Short serve elicits a forehand push, and then Haneen just turns the corner. Forehand drives down the line for the winner.
The contrast of emotions apparent. Liang had a 10-9 lead after he trailed most of that game. Couple game points, and Haneen fights him off and steals that opening point for the Chicago win.
Definitely a theft there. Great footwork. Jishan Liang is going to have to get something going. He's got to make that first attack on before he goes for his big power plays.
They get him quickly after their serves.
So Hanin, 25 years old from Minsk, Belarus. Singles national champ in Belarus. Went 4-2 in singles back in September. And he gets the 1-point win over the MLTT newcomer Liang.
And Hanin just doing a nice job of getting his attack in play, moving it around, not trying anything too risky, but coming up big on golden point.
All righty, here's game 2. Liang will serve first.
Nice backhand attack there by Liang.
Quick 3-0 lead here. Game 2 for Jishan Liang after dropping game 1. It's on the board. Obviously, it's a long season. Major League Table Tennis will bring each division together once in September, once in October, once in November. All 8 teams will come together in Rock Hill, South Carolina, just outside of Charlotte for the interdivisional event early December. And then teams come back together January, February, March. There's plenty of time for both Chicago and Princeton to make a move to get back into playoff position. Obviously, the top 2 teams in each division will make it to the championship event.
Oh, beautiful backhand. Not just an opening, but a finishing shot by Hanin.
5-3 lead right now for Liang. Hanin back within 1 at 5-4. Obviously, this is still in the early days of MLTT. In September, Sean, we saw basically 1 out of every 6 games go to golden point. We did not see it at all in the first 15 games tonight. But Hanin and Liang going to 10-all to start their match here in the evening.
I think as more players are playing each other, looks like there's a timeout.
It's an early timeout call.
Very early.
Matthias Habasson saw Jishan Liang drop the first game, coughing up the 10-9 lead. He had a multi-point lead here early too, and now it's 5-all. So he, obviously this is very close and doesn't want to let it slip away. Have you noticed anything tactically that is off or astray for either player?
Yeah, it just looks like for Jishan Liang, we saw at the beginning of this game when he built the lead, he got some good third ball attacks. He hasn't done that in the last 5 or 6 points, so he really needs to get something going and kind of build the point, not just simply go for winners. And Coach Habasson definitely would like to see some of that as well. Play the short balls well, make an opening loop, and then set that up for a finishing loop versus just waiting for Haneen to make a quality spin and then go for the winner.
Players back to the table. 5 points apiece in game number 2.
5-all here in game 2.
Princeton Revolution's
Haneen took game 1,
and Alexander
11-10.
Haneen of Chicago wins.
Haneen has the serve.
And very aggressive serve there by Haneen, going right at the deep pocket of the table.
Does he take that same approach here in his second serve?
Most likely he'll play very safe and short, nothing so risky. And again.
Wow, third shot attack winner.
Wow.
And it's 7-5.
So sometimes those timeouts can give the opposing team a little bit of extra confidence or momentum, thinking that, oh, your coach doesn't think that you have what's working tonight. Maybe I should just keep pounding the same position on the table. But this would be a call timeout and you lose 3 points in a row. Make that 4.
Young turning around.
That'll
help.
It was a great deep push by Haneen, but credit Jishan with making a wonderful opening off of the push. Unfortunate mistake there by Haneen. But Jishan being much more aggressive on the serve return, mixing it up.
We're even again, 8-all here in game 2. Leon missed it.
Went for it. Ball was a little high. And I think Jishan got in not as fast as he needed. Still reaching for the ball.
Each point here. Haneen was in the attacking position, but Liang with some great defense to even things up 9-all.
Taking a little bit of a risk to go out to the wide forehand. When you have an opponent back, generally the play is to play to their backhand side, easier to deal with any counterattacks. At that time, Jishan got a nice forehand topspin in. Haneen unable to read the amount.
Great battle, and Leon takes a 10-9 lead again.
Super backhand from the backcourt by Liang. Keeps it in play, but then goes for it, both feet off the ground. Excellent counterattack from the backcourt.
There's no question, Princeton has struggled in close games. One more serve for Haneen.
That was a solid backhand loop off the bounce. Third ball attack by Haneen. And once again,
You know what it is. Say it with me.
10-all.
Golden points.
It almost seems unfair that so much hangs on the balance of the outcome of this point. One game apiece. Haneen overcooks the forehand, and Liang gets back on track with an 11-10 win in game 2.
Both games so
Just smart opening spin, heavy top spin. Very difficult to reloop that ball if you're starting below the contact point and just lifts it right off the end.
To be the second time in MLTT history in its inaugural season, 3 golden points. I mean, how much more gold can you get, Carolina Gold Rushians? It just feels a little bit too magical
talking with
to be
Leong.
right here in Myrtle Beach. It's exciting. Wow.
Certainly has been tight the whole way.
Rising up to match Daniel's skill
These two
level.
players very evenly matched.
I'm really excited. Sports photography, it's important. Really, a good picture.
Who is your pick coming into this match, John?
You know, I thought coming in that Jishan being the slightly higher ranked player, definitely in the draft, that's how it showed. But Haneen, much more active internationally.
I don't know about you guys,
Jishan
but
Liang
one point
has
really
been
stood
training
out
a
so
bit
far
abroad
to me
and
was
also
Enzo
really
Alvarez
focused on trying to make
rush the table punching.
the Olympic team for
And all
Team
that other
USA,
stuff happened,
played in
but
the World
right now,
Championships
first
as well as
half of this
Pan Am
team
Championships, and we'll be
matchup,
going
they're
to
already
Pan Am
putting up some of
Games.
the best rallies of the
But
day.
it's really a matter, I mean, 10-10, it's 1 point. It's something they're not used to. They're generally playing deuce games. So it's really a matter of nerves and will in order to get the job done.
Alrighty, 1 more to 11 for these two players. See who can take the early 2-1 lead. And looks like we may have an issue with the score flipper. That has led to the brief delay.
Should be some snaps on the back of that in order to just
When you thought you'd seen everything.
There's another one on the other side of the.
Look at this. Ingenuity. We always travel with multiple score flippers. Ed Hogshead, the director of logistics for Major League Table Tennis, always has a plan. Just to raise the stakes and the intensity, create a little extra anticipation. All right, score flippers all good, 0-0, 1 game apiece. Game 3.
Game 3, win the serve.
Haneen has the ball. Let's play table tennis. Oh my! Jishan Liang sent it back and takes a 1-0 lead.
Great block off the third ball attack.
Haneen apologizes for the net cord, but it's 1-all. Boom. Almost caught the edge.
Jishan really fighting hard to get his forehand into play, and you can just see the power.
Big forehand there from Sasha.
That's just great placement by Haneen. Looking it down the line for the winner. Very difficult when Haneen is looping the ball to figure out where he's going. He's got great placement, great position between him and the ball. He can take it in either direction. That last one, Jishan having a little difficulty trying to pick up the range.
Oh, tough break there. Haneen into the corner of the table. You ever get hurt by the table when you were playing?
Yeah, occasionally you'll catch a hand or a knuckle.
Hip?
Hip, not so much. But definitely players do get careful when they're returning serves, and those balls are so close to a second bounce on the edge. They're taking full swings. That's a beautiful forehand loop over the table, down the line.
How did he set that up so effectively?
It was just that one extra short push that Jishan was surprised that he did. Lunged in, popped it up, and that ball's not coming back.
Again.
Great over the table. When you backswing, keep your racket high. Turn your shoulders, turn your waist. Lots of power.
5-4.
Beautiful placement out to the wide forehand.
Players switch sides at 5-4 here in game 3. Surprise, surprise, it's close again.
5-all now.
Smart play by Jishan Liang just to make that forehand flip, put the pressure on the opponent, take away some time.
What's going to be the difference here? These next 10 points, we get to the business end of this first singles match.
I think it's going to be whether Jishan Liang can put some power behind his shots. Right now he's just kind of keeping it in play. Hanin's going to just be moving the ball around.
Missed it though.
Went for a
Set
big
it up.
backhand. When Jishan Liang is looping, it's about a level to 2 levels above when he's just keeping it in play. There's the forehand loop of Jishan Liang. Just powered the serve.
Did you say you wanted him to be a little more aggressive?
He saw that the serve was coming off, and there's no hesitation.
7-6 to Leon.
8-6 lead now for Jishan Liang in Princeton.
And he's got the serve, so look for him to serve a very short, tight, probably underspin serve, and then look for a ball that comes off the end to take a full swing.
All of a sudden, some separation.
Just the first 3-point lead of the entire match.
Hanin back within 2.
Smart to get the first opening in off of Jishan's serve. What are the odds that it goes to 10-10?
Right now, say 33%.
Look at 50.
46% at 9-8 here.
Just beautiful third ball attack.
Hanin wins this point. It'll be about 75%.
Big hitting, and Hanin ties it at 9.
Again, both players just fighting as hard as they can to keep their forehands alive.
It was Jinxing Wang and Mark Duran on September 15th. They played 3 straight golden games.
See it again here.
Well, this time it's Hanin who takes the 10-9 lead. He trailed 10-9 in each of the first 2 games. And Hanin has a couple of game points here.
How aggressive is Jishan Liang going to be?
How aggressive should he be?
I would be playing it short to the middle.
That caught the edge to end it. My goodness, Hanin takes it 2 out of 3 with a little good fortune to close it out. Sasha Hanin.
That serve just went way too long. Surprised Jishan, and Hanin, just master of opportunity, takes the serve back and hits a winner directly.
Great stuff from Alexander Sasha Hanin to 25-year-old Belarusian. 11-10 win in game 1, 11-9 in game 3. After dropping game 2 by the 1-point margin. So Sasha Hanin will don the headset for us. Sasha, congratulations on taking 2 out of 3. That was about as close as you could ever get on the table. What was it like, the intensity of every point late in that match?
Thank you for congratulations. Yeah, it was really tough match. Especially, you know, all the time, first match in the tournament is always difficult. And here, first set was 11-10, second set was 11-10, and also last game was 11-9. I mean, it was really close, but I'm very happy that I won in the end.
Were you anticipating that his last serve could go long? Because it looked like you jumped right on top of it and had no hesitation.
I was a little bit ready for this half-long service, and also before, few balls before, I was also ready for that. Because many serve, he serve like half long, but many times he just jumping to the table, and that's why my receive sometimes was really high. So I really was ready to start and make topspin in the end.
Sasha, obviously you play to win every single point. Does your mindset change at 10-10?
I hope that I hope that I can continue to win every time when 10-10.
What is it like? Does it feel like more pressure in that moment?
I will not say that it's like more pressure. You just need more concentration. You know? I feel only this, because when it's 2 points after 10-10, you always can think a little bit about the next point, not only like 10-10, about 11-10 or 11. And here you just need to think about 1 point, and I give all the power for this 1 point. Yeah.
Awesome. Congrats on the win. Now 6-3 in singles in Major League Table Tennis. We'll see you later on tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sasha. Sasha will be playing doubles alongside Emily Tan, going against Matthew DeSantillan and Angela Guan later. But let me tell you what, this is a second singles match that I'm looking forward to. It's a rematch of a showdown we saw in Daytona Beach. Damian Provost for Chicago and Yevgen Prishepa for Princeton. Prishepa took 2 out of 3 over Provost a month ago. Provost, #1 draft pick for Chicago. Prishepa, a 4th-round pick for Princeton. And the Ukrainian Prishepa will serve first. And a nice side way to start.
We've seen a lot of edges and a lot of nets tonight.
Is there a full moon or something? What's going on? I guess it is Friday the 13th. Sean, I assume you are not afflicted with paraskevi-decatriophobia.
No, not at all.
That's good news.
Just net balls. These players are not backing up. It's just right on top of the table. Topspin to topspin off the bounce.
Is there an 11-syllable word that characterizes being afraid of net balls?
Not sure.
There really should be. There's a word for fear of Friday the 13th and fear of the number 13. The reason we don't play to 13, we play to 11.
And no deuces.
It would have been an interesting idea if on this night only, on Friday the 13th, instead of to 11, we played to 13. Maybe next time. What have you noticed here with Provost jumping out to the lead?
Just that both players don't want to give the other player any time. I mean, generally one player will back up in order to create some time between the shots, but both of them are just staying right on top of the table, really curtailing their shots, their strokes, so they're not too long. You don't have time to play big backswings or big follow-throughs when you're taking it off the bounce.
Good return there from Prishepa. These are two big dudes. Both stand 6'1". Lanky.
Look at that, beautiful by Prishepa, just staying ready and balanced on the backhand side when Provost delivers this nice forehand cross-court drive. Just redirects it to the open court.
6-3 lead now for Provost.
Provost plays very well off the table. Great hands, great touch.
You say he plays well off the table. That was pretty good playing at the table.
Yeah, just make one great shot and it comes back just as fast.
7-3 lead here for Provost. Damian dropped the first 2 games to Yevgen Przeszepa in Daytona Beach. Salvaged a point in game 3. Best point of the game so far.
Just a lot of patience by Przeszepa. Provost leaving the table. He just keeps putting it on with a lot of pressure. Inside out forehand. Provost unable to run it down.
Provost able to maintain his 4-point lead. They go back to the towels, 12 points into this opening game. Both these guys are 38 years old, although for Damian, not for long. Damian Provost will celebrate his 39th birthday tomorrow.
Damian has been such a wonderful ambassador for Major League Table Tennis. Doing so much both in the US and in Europe. Oh, great forehand loop there by Provost.
And the Frenchman now 2 points away. Should mention that the 2 games he lost to Przeszepa in Daytona Beach were the only singles games he lost in Daytona Beach. He went 7-2 across 3-team matches in singles.
Anytime you can take the big 3, shut the opponent out, it adds so much more excitement for your team going into the golden game.
If Przeszepa could somehow steal this point, he would feel like he's right there with a couple serves coming his way.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful backhand by Przeszepa. Just picks it up right off the bounce. Good depth on it.
Did you think Damian played it a little too safe there?
Yeah, you think he's just keeping the pressure on versus doing something with it. But there's a nice backhand by Damian doing the exact same thing. In these righty-lefty matchups, you see a lot of balls out to the forehand side when a ball pops up or is loose.
Game point.
There's a shot out to the forehand.
So it goes back to Provost serve, 10-8.
Przeszepa, excellent backhand technique, good placement.
Damian taking his time. Doesn't want to let this get to 10-9 or 10-10. Another game point here.
Nice combo. Przeszepa just gets the backhand opening.
Przeszepa's a gamer. He just does not go away. Nothing easy against Yevgen. 10-9.
Provost prevails in game 1. Przeszepa frustrated that his shot caught the net.
Very aggressive serve here by Provost. Deep into the backhand. Able to counterattack that first softer opening. Przeszepa can't get that ball to clear the net and land.
Yeah, See from his body language, he thought he had it off the racket. Felt like he had a pretty good shot to that back corner, but it would not go. Provost gets the point for Chicago.
I heard a little fun fact about this guy Jason over here. I talked to his fiance earlier today, who should be coming in tomorrow. Took a little bit of persuasion.
Damien
Picked up the ante at the airport.
from France.
She normally almost sees no table
Described his playing style as safe.
and I think they're going to have a fan for life.
Coach Eric Owens.
Team score now 3-1. Chicago wins in the lead. Princeton Revolution.
What kind of player was Eric Owens?
He was an excellent player with super footwork, an amazing forehand, nice serves, and a backhand that just kept the ball going one shot longer. U.S. champion, and in that time that he won, he took out two amazing players, David Zhuang and Chen Yunhua, in the exact same tournament, back-to-back semis and finals, which I don't think any player had done in the same event. So, amazing player. Just thrilled to have him involved with Major League Table Tennis in Chicago.
You had some good battles with David Zhuang back in the day, right?
Yeah, he got the better of most of them. We played doubles together, which was always fun. But he was a person who I generally didn't want to see in the finals. I would rather play him in an early round when he's still warming up.
Shetta takes a 2-0 lead on Provost serve here in game 2. Incredible point. Both players handling the net cord.
Yeah, and
ricochets.
Provost just staying with it and keeping the forehand going. Just so nonchalant, just keeping it one more over the net. Excellent play.
Two all. Neither player has won a point on his serve through the first 4 here in game 2.
Oh, that's a nice aggressive serve there by Provost. Most of his serves are just short to the middle. That time he juiced it up deep into the backhand. Again, went for the same that time. Prushepa ready for the ball. Able to string 2 topspin balls. Provost not happy with himself.
Prushepa from Ukraine but moved to France because of the war.
Oh, that's a beautiful backhand by Prushepa. Just redirecting Provost's power right back at him.
Provost catches the edge and apologizes, but
That was a
that
great
looked like
shot.
a pretty good shot.
Yeah, I was going to say that was well positioned right on the white line. Not much you can do. Both these players playing with amazing spin, great feel, both up at the table and one off.
Good serve by Prushepa.
Both players going very aggressive on their 2 serves. This looks like a video game right now. They're just lining that ball up right on the white lines every single time.
You can get lulled into not totally appreciating the athleticism that you're seeing, the coordination, the instincts. Provost really needed that one. Now it goes back to Przeppa's serve with a 9-5 lead. And a great opportunity here to try and close out this middle game, even this matchup 1 game apiece.
That was a nice forehand loop. Straight ball down the line.
Game point. We'll get back to Damian's serve.
Oh, bullet backhand there by Przeppa.
11-6, game 2 for Przeppa. We've got a rubber match coming up between Provost and Przeppa. These two 38-year-olds hammering back and forth.
Tying it up. So it comes down to the decider. The question is, who are you? Richard Costner. Richard Costner.
Just great power by Przeppa. No
Costner
hesitation.
Family.
Nice drop and then right off the bounce.
So how do you feel about your brother's career choices, Richard?
So far, so good.
Chicago with a 3-2
Okay.
lead overall.
Sometimes family can
Haneen
get
took 2 out
competitive.
of 3,
You
winning
never
the
played
rubber
table
game
tennis growing up?
11-9 over Jishan Liang.
Because he was afraid of your
See if
backhand?
Przeppa can score the
It's
equalizer
funny, I
here.
don't talk to him as often
Take
as
2 out
I
of 3
used to,
again
but he
against
did mention
Davy and
something about
Provost.
his brother's backhand receive game. Richard Costner.
Right now it has
this
been
is the guy that we've been
Przeppa
hearing about
all the
for
second game.
decades. If you've ever
Provost
watched
needs
a
to
Kevin
figure out a
Costner
way,
interview, you can put a face
changing
to
the
name.
timing a little bit,
Table tennis,
get his
target
first
practice
attack in, and
you
not
can
just
be Kevin
back up
Costner's big brother.
and have to
Richard,
respond to
thank you so much for
Przeppa's
being
strong over the table and over the bounce. Top spins, especially from the backhand side.
John, you said you do not suffer from paraskevidekatriophobia. Did you have superstitions when you played at the highest level?
Just tried to basically do the same thing all the time. Just the normal habits of getting rest, getting a good breakfast, getting a good warm-up. Don't bounce the ball on the line before you serve the ball.
Which sneaker would you tie the laces first?
Usually left. Had a couple favorite shirts, and but really just try to be as normal as possible and watch videotape a lot. Try to figure out what my opponents are doing, and fight for the net and edge balls. They're still in play. A lot of times players think that points over when that occurs, but they are playable.
When you knew you had a big match later in the day, let's say you knew you were playing at 5 p.m., would you be thinking about it nonstop from 9 a.m. on, or would you try to separate your headspace?
Try to get outside the hall. Try to get away from the action because it's so distracting, especially people coming up during a competition. But
Eric Owens wants a timeout here, by the way. Przeppa's scored 4 of the first 5 here in Game 3 against Provost, so Chicago's going to talk
very
it over.
wisely knows he does not want to lose any opportunities to keep these games tight.
It's interesting. He tried to get away from the hall, get away from the game.
Yeah, just I wasn't really a big music listener. A lot of players do that, put on headphones, sit down, but I just wanted to get some fresh air, go for a walk, but near the hall, and come in fresh.
I don't know if you can see my chest. Just so I could get hugs from other people wearing
Did
MLT
you travel with a
shirts.
Walkman to the 1988 Olympics in Seoul, South Korea?
No, it's cool.
I
You
think,
didn't see her. She licked her top.
gosh, we have Walkman back then. Yeah, we must have. I must have had my TDK
I know you didn't have an iPhone.
Right.
All right, back from the timeout.
Yeah, the phones they gave out to the Olympic team there were very small and almost rotary.
All right, out of the timeout, one more serve for Przeszepa.
Oh, look at that backhand.
Nifty stuff.
Just turning it over.
Switch sides at 5-1.
Again, nice control. And that first ball that comes up a little bit, Przeszepa's just jumping on it with his backhand. Great job by Provost. Withstood 2 backhands and got his own forehand to land. He needs to be more offensive minded. Can't just be a wall out there.
You know what's funny is last week on the West Coast, not last week, but a few weeks ago, we saw matchups between 2 players that combined age-wise weren't as old as either of these 2 players we got here. Is that going to catch? Nope.
Almost.
7-2.
Table tennis is such an experience-based sport. Every year you play, you get better. These guys keep their physical form really high. So even at the later years, they can still compete at the international level. That's a nice forehand attack there by Provost. Very smart. Once again, Provost working on the wide forehand, then quickly takes it to the backhand side after Przeszepa gets off the table.
Provost hanging around here. Needs to split these 2 points on Przeszepa's serve, at least.
That was one heck of a drop shot. You can almost hear him chop into the table.
So all of a sudden it's 7-6, and we're going to get a timeout from Matthias Habasson and Yevgen Przeszepa. So this third game, you can feel the gravity that goes with it, especially with a 1-point difference separating the 2 teams through the first 5 games. Both these 2 teams desperate to get a victory to start this weekend.
Not very often in 2 games that both coaches call timeouts, trying to change the momentum.
Is the same name as an actor from The Birdcage who was wonderful on Broadway. Okay, Kathy Lane. Tell me about your history with table tennis.
Alex Kazaku giving some words of advice to Damian Provost. Here are the full standings for the East Division. Remember, it's not overall win-loss record, it's the total points that they have.
Professional table tennis in the United States. Why is table tennis
Really, Chicago and Princeton, the difference in those ledgers is the Golden game that they played against one another. Princeton would be ahead of Chicago in the standings if that Golden game had gone differently. Chicago started that Golden game with a 1-0 lead and then blew them out. Provost sends it long. Przeszepa hopes he's back on track. Up 8-6.
Lucky breaks for Przeszepa, both getting a net that Damien was able to lift up, but then another net later on that goes off the end from Provost's paddle.
Yeah, it's cruel.
Nice deep serve there.
Two serves here for Pryshchepa. Up 9-7.
And a 10-7 lead now.
Right idea by Provost to go for something. Just couldn't get that ball to bend down.
Can Pryshchepa finish it off right here? Yes, he can.
Pryshchepa dropped the first game. It takes games 2 and 3. And for the second time in as many months, Yevgen Pryshchepa goes 2-1 against Damien Provost, the first round draft pick of the Chicago Wind.
Just very strong play, good serve choice, really nice and spinny, giving Provost nothing to work with. Excellent match for the Revolution.
So Pryshchepa, who grew up in Kyiv, a 1-minute walk away from a table tennis school where he honed his skills since he was 6 years old, improves to 5-4 in MLTT singles. That includes 4 wins in 6 games against Damien Provost. Yevgen, congratulations on taking 2 out of 3. Another battle against a really good opponent. What was it like playing Damien here? How did it compare to a month ago in Daytona Beach?
Thank you for your congratulations. As you see by results, result is the same, 2-1 to me. But he's very smart player and always hit me the places that I don't expect. So many white lines and good shots really. And he has amazing serve. But I was ready, a little bit lucky in the end. So I win.
So my question for you is, your backhand topspin is so beautiful. How do you generate so much speed and so much power for all those fans that want to copy your backhand?
I don't know. It's a difficult question, but I love from childhood to play from backhand, so I think I have talent for this. And for amateurs, I can advise that their wrist must be very relaxed to make the good spin.
Excellent point.
Yevgen, after the first match, or after the first game of this last match, Damien, who won the last match against you in Daytona Beach, so he had won 2 in a row. Did your confidence waver at all after the first game, and did you make any adjustments in games 2 and 3 to get those W's?
Actually, I was playing first set also very good, but so I was confident in my game, and I had planned for next 2.
How's your baby girl doing, Yevgen?
Thank you very much. She's doing well. Thanks.
Good stuff. Thanks so much, Yevgen. We'll see you at the Golden Game later on.
Thank you. Thank you. See you.
Yevgen Pryshchepa, father of 2. He's got a 12-year-old daughter and then a daughter who's about 3 months old.
I'm looking forward to this mixed doubles match with 2 choppers for the Revolution and 2 very offensive-minded players for Chicago.
So it's Matthew de Saint-Ilan and Angela Guan for the Princeton Revolution against Sasha Hanin and Emily Tan. You're looking at Angela Guan making a play in the Golden Game back a month ago in Florida. And here's Hanin and Tan. Emily Tan, just 17 years old. And what do you think, Sean? Who has the edge here, the offensive-minded team or the defensive-minded team?
It should be the offensive. Generally, odds are when you have an offensive team and then defensive, offense can set it up, choose their shots, go for the big wins. But in mixed doubles, if you don't play with your partner a lot, that can also force some issues. That ball caught the back edge of the table, force some issues on who's really the quarterback, who's the one who sets up the opponent or sets up the teammate. So Angela and Matthew have played quite a bit now. They played in Daytona Beach, I want to say at least 2 matches, maybe all 3. So we'll see if the choppers, and Matthew does attack quite well, and Angela can attack on her backhand side. We'll see if they can just mix up the spin. But right now, don't be surprised if Emily and Haneen can actually get the job done. Yep, that's a great combination there for Chicago. Just mixing it up, setting the partner to get a higher ball to finish.
Hi.
5-1 lead for the offensive-minded duo of Haneen and Tan. Emily Tan played in all 3 doubles matches, and 3 and 6 in games in Daytona Beach. Haneen was her partner in one of those matches, Haneen going 1 and 2. And that's a offensive-minded winner from Matthew De Santillana. We have seen him morph mid-match into an attacking threat.
What he'll like to do is play defense until he sees the opponent can read his spin well or put balls through him. Then he'll just switch and then go offense.
You are right, though. De Santillana and Guan did play all 3 doubles matches together in Daytona Beach. They went 3 and 6 in those doubles contests.
There's a nice backhand attack by Angela Guan.
I say, I like the footwear for both of these ladies. They're stylish, a mix of pink and purple and pink and black. Looks good. Four lead. Tan gave herself a playful smack in the face after that miss. Tan's not going to miss 2 in a row, though, and Haneen helps to finish that point, so it's a 9-5 lead with the serve going back to Guan. Nine 6 now. 2022 women's singles college champion with another serve.
There's a beautiful backhand loop by Matthew De Santillana. Just picture perfect.
Calls the play. Tan to serve up 9-7. What a great low return from Angela Guan. All of a sudden, it's a 1-point game here in the opener to this doubles contest. Game point now for Chicago.
Great teamwork by Chicago here, just setting each other up. One big smash following another one.
Opening game goes to the wind as Haneen and Tan prevail 11-8.
Great teamwork, and of course the order will change now. I would say advantage Revolution in game 2. We'll see if
What is your relationship to Matthew Sisson-Dillon?
Emily's able to deal with the heavier underspins of DeSantillan when he's off the table, as well as his attacks.
What's your name? Jordan, nice to meet you. What's your name? Say it one more time.
Great placement on the last one by Haneen directly into Angela Guan's body.
What are the odds?
We saw DeSantillan and Guan shift into attacking mode relatively early in points a few times. And when they did, it worked out well.
Yeah, what happens is one will chop the ball so well that the opponent has to just put it on. That's the opportunity for the teammate then to jump onto offense. But if the chops are a little bit high, then they're going to stay in a defensive mode just because they're basically playing retriever. See, like in this last point, both off the table, just trying to keep it in play.
Choppers and attackers with Chicago Wind in gray. Game number 2, here we go.
Alrighty, Guan will serve to start game 2. And got the break with the net. Chicago in front 1-0.
It's going to be so much more pressure on Haneen in this game, just knowing that if he plays a weak ball, that DeSantillan can come in and counterattack it. And there's the heavy underspin. Emily Tan's going to need a forklift to get that one up and over the net. And that time Angela Guan loads up the underspin.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but at this time, forklifts are not permitted as part of the game. It'd certainly be a twist.
And just look at how this game has started out for the Revolution.
Kind of similar to the last game.
And that's a beautiful change of spin by DeSantillan, just confusing Emily with the type of spin on the ball. Actually gave her a no-spin ball from the backcourt. When she went to push it, it just popped right off.
Oh, Guan catches the edge. And Princeton gets back within 3 at 5-2.
Just the extra hustle is rewarded. Oh, Emily Tan with a great backhand hit off the bounce.
6-2 lead for the Revolution. Turning the tide.
Angela doing a nice job really mixing up the spin on the serve. And then look at that, it's basically a third ball attack with underspin. Matthew DeSantillan comes in with that heavy cut. Emily unable to lift it up over the net. And there's the powerful forehand. There's a nice backhand attack by Guan.
This has turned into a rout. Game point. Umpire was not pleased with the ball toss. Game 2 goes to Princeton in convincing fashion as DeSantillan and Guan roll 11-2.
So the Chopper's
Mixing it
not
up
just
nicely
turning the
with
ball for
offense.
spin, but really turning the
Changing it to
scoreboard around.
defense.
11-2.
So much pressure
After being
on
beaten
Emily
11-8
Tan
in game number 1,
to
quite a
read the
response.
spin and bring the ball
Sometimes
down.
people think, why do people still chop? When's the last time I saw a chopper be a world champion? The simple answer to that question is, for any individual, chopping might be the best game that you can play. I mean, how many people here use pips? Right? When's the last time a world champion used pips? Well, that doesn't mean it's not good for you, right? When's the last time somebody lobbed and snaked their way all the way into a position with MLTT?
Sometimes it's just nice to
I
listen to
don't know,
Professor Bobrow
but
lecture
it
the
works
crowd.
for some of us, right? Anyway, the Chopper's really doing a wonderful job here coming back
So
in.
look for Princeton to try to get to 5 first to get that second quarter.
Keeping the Penguin
We
nice
saw
and
that
cool. I
game
love it.
for the second half.
We got a lot of fighting here going on because game number 3, it is tied up 4 points apiece. This will be the deciding game in this match and in the overall team match. Chicago win versus Princeton Revolution. Here we
What do you got here, Sean? Which side you taking in game 3?
Win to serve.
I'm going to go Revolution. I like the Choppers.
Interesting.
So smart by Haneen. Didn't overplay it, but just spun it up. Gave Guan nothing to work with.
Flummoxing serve from Emily Tan. Good forehand from Tan.
Tan's doing an excellent job right now.
It's almost like Chicago hit the reset button after that game 2. Already scored more points here in game 3. And a 4-0 lead now for the Wind.
Well, that's the fastest way to get to 5.
I'd say. As you remind me, every doubles match, the order does change in game 3. So who knows? I mean, could we see 5 straight points the other way here?
Possibly, but Haneen,
Haneen and Tan playing inspired.
what a great forehand. Just jumped on top of that one. He knows if DeSantillan brings back his loop, it's going to be so much underspin for his partner. Beautiful.
That was a fun point with Tan and Haneen moving around all parts of the table. But it's the first point of the game for DeSantillan and Guan.
That ball's so heavy. Oh, look at that over the table.
Nothing they can do about that.
Haneen just really upping his game here in game 3.
Deep, deep serve. And caught the net with that forehand.
And that's the tough situation right there where Haneen will go heavy, heavy spin. DeSantillan will bring it back. And then Emily Tan has to work off of a ball that she can't produce that amount of spin. So either she has to play it safe or go for a very difficult shot.
I haven't seen too many matches where it's been 11-2 one way, 11-4 the other way.
The beauty of mixed doubles.
Do you really mean that?
Yeah, it really happens quite a bit when you have the female hitting to the male and the male hitting to the female each
Right.
other game. Rule of thumb is get the strongest female player you can find, let her do damage. Angela has to make that ball.
She knows it. 9-4.
How big has Haneen been in this game?
Yeah, we probably haven't talked about it enough, but just good shot after good shot. Game point.
Appropriately, Haneen with another big forehand to close it out. Sasha helped Chicago get 2 points in singles and then 2 more points in doubles as they close out game 3, 11-4, taking 2 out of 3 over Desantillon and Juan.
Actually, from 8-1 up, a string of points there for Princeton Revolution, quite exciting.
Emily Tan and Sasha Haneen currently arguing about who gets to do the interview. They're both so eager to talk to Sean O'Neill. At this point, I think we'll see. Looks like Emily's coming on over.
Up by 1 point, Emily Tan draws the short straw. This could be massive for her.
Emily Tan joins us now. Emily, thank you for putting on the headset. I know talking to Sean is a lot of pressure, but we appreciate you joining us. I mean, you drop game 2, 11-2, and then you turn around and win 11-4 in game 3. What do you guys talk about after game 2 to flip it around?
I think we just said we're just going to go for it and then like be more aggressive. So game 2, as we can see, I was pushing a lot because I was scared of those high balls. He shops like really spinny, those high balls. Even though they're high, they're really spinny. So I just pushed it and then hoping my partner could attack. But like I guess game 2, I was in a really big lead from the first 5 points. So I just chose to be more aggressive and said I just go for it.
How much fun are you having not being in school right now and being on the East Coast playing table tennis?
I'm actually really happy to take a break. School has been really stressful recently, especially I'm a senior in high school, so I have to be ready to prepare for my college apps. So all those essays are really stressing me out. So coming to play is really fun.
What's the toughest class you're taking right now,
Right
Emily?
now, definitely physics.
Yikes. I don't think I ever took physics, Sean, so I cannot help you with the homework. Do you have a lot of homework this weekend when you're not playing table tennis?
I actually finished them all before I came because I don't want to stack up because I know when I come here I get really tired, so I just sleep in the noon, so I don't really like to do homework. So I actually prepared myself pretty well, so I just finished all my homework beforehand.
Love it. What was it like, playing the first MLTT weekend, going back home, coming back? Do your friends in school recognize that you're a professional athlete now?
Oh yeah, my friends are really like happy for me, and one of my classmates came up to me and he was like, "Emily, I saw your Instagram. Are you a professional now?"
You are. You absolutely are, and you just took 2 out of 3. Hopefully they're all watching back in California. Thanks for joining us, Emily, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.
Emily Tan, 17-year-old high school senior, worrying about those college applications and everything else that you worry about at that age, but she is a really promising young woman, no question about it. As we transition back to singles in a matchup we have not seen before, Daniele Pinto takes the table for Chicago. Daniele from Italy, played in Daytona Beach. 24 years old, he went 1-5 in singles, but certainly played some close matches. And his opponent today will be Koyo Kanamitsu from Tokyo, Japan, who's making his Major League Table Tennis debut. What are you expecting here?
Well, it's going to be
these two?
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting with Koyo. A lot of power, very traditional Japanese player, great forehand, great backhand. Of course, with Pinto, as a lefty with a wonderful forehand, he moves all over the table, just wants to get that forehand into play. I think what this match will come down to is really the serve and serve return. Which player can set up their first attack, whether it's a third ball attack or a well-positioned opening attack. Japanese players tend to have very good flips, very aggressive, but Pinto is a fighter. He likes to cover the whole court and look for him to come out strong.
Who do you view as the favorite here?
I would say probably Koyo, just because international rankings and a little bit more experience, especially in the kind of the Asian region.
That's interesting, especially considering that Koyo was a 7th round draft pick and Pinto was a 3rd round pick. But certainly availability is a factor in that as well. Here we go. 1-0 lead for Daniele Pinto from Terni, Italy. How about that?
You'll see with Koyo that he stays very close to the table, not a big backswing. Pinto has a little bit more of a backswing in order to generate power.
Three 3-1 lead now for the Italian. Chicago with a 5-4 lead after taking 2 out of 3 in doubles. Earlier today, Florida defeated Carolina to surge into first place in the East Division.
Wow, look at that shot by Pinto.
And he's locked in. Caught the side. Koyo Kanamitsu makes it 5-2.
Oh, nice place serve, just breaking off the corner. Tough to determine whether it's coming off the end or breaking off the side. Does the same thing the other way.
By the way, is the 3rd straight singles match. That's a lefty versus a righty.
A lot of these coaches pick lefties knowing that the doubles would be a key element.
Aside from using scissors, lefties seem to have an advantage in life. Everywhere they go.
Yeah, definitely in table tennis, just not that many, although in Major League Table Tennis it seems like we have a higher percentage.
Field hockey is the exception to that.
Because the sticks only are for righties.
Ridiculous. Don't get me started, Sean. 8-4 lead for Pinto here.
Oh, beautiful block there. Cross court, open court.
Pinto has been sharp.
Just a super counterattack there by Pinto, just right off the bounce.
Whole slew of game points here for Daniele. Koyo.
How do you make your wrist go that way? Inside out from the middle of the table.
You're going to give me a lesson tomorrow, but you should get a lesson from Koyo first.
I'm taking notes, so not sure if we're going to be working on that particular stroke, but.
Game 1 goes to Daniele Pinto, an 11-5 convincing victory to get this 3rd singles match started over Koyo Kanamitsu.
Koyo Kanamitsu of Princeton Revolution. A good start. Chicago win, adding to
Pinto just really firing on all cylinders. Serve, serve, return, opening loops.
Pinto did not play in the Princeton match back in Florida. He sat out that one. The Italian off to a good start today. Did your table tennis travels ever take you to Italy?
No, I don't think I played in any. Played in Germany, France, England, and coached in the.
Have you been to Italy?
Have been to Italy. Did the Rome, Florence, Pompeii tour with the wife.
It is a wonderful place.
Yeah, it's tough to beat.
Have you been to Japan?
Many times. Many times. Table tennis, pretty big in Japan.
Did you coach over there?
No coaching, just playing. Both in Japan Opens and in Tokyo. We've had a couple World Championships there in the past. One of my previous sponsors, Butterfly, who is the sponsor of Major League Table Tennis, is headquartered in Tokyo.
Pinto picks up where he left off.
And I want to say for Pinto, I think playing in Daytona Beach gave him so much more of a feel of what to expect, and it's not easy coming out and playing that first match against somebody so strong.
Opportunity here for Chicago to try and create some separation in this overall match.
Absolutely. I'm sure that's what Coach Owens is thinking about. These matches are so short with just 3 games played. A lot of tournaments it'll be the best of 5.
For nothing for Daniele.
And he's just mixing up the serve really well. Not easy playing a lefty. And Pinto's mixing both the placement and the depth.
Kanamitsu finally on the board here in game 2.
Just really having a tough time getting something started by Koyo. Not much energy on the Princeton bench right now.
Yeah, and that matters. I mean, we certainly noticed that out west. The Bay Area Blasters at times were low energy, and it showed.
You draw energy off of your teammates, especially in a league or a team sport. And they're looking dejected or looking around. It's tough to get pumped up. And again, credit Pinto with his own self-expression, making sure that after every time he wins a point, he's giving himself some self-encouragement. If he misses a shot, he's not getting down on himself. That's a beautiful backhand leap there. Kanamitsu.
Got a huge hole to dig out of if you're Koyo.
Yeah, you want to almost just do a reset, turn the game.
Still 2 in a row. One more serve for Pinto. If Kanamitsu could win this, it could get a little interesting. Did not catch. Bunch of game points coming up here. Instead of 9-5, it goes to 10-4. Two straight for Daniele Pinto. He has outscored Kanamitsu 22-9 across those 2 games.
This is exactly what Chicago wanted, to create that separation and possibly get a 3-pointer. Pinto just driving the ship right now. mixing it up, getting that forehand into play, and Kanamitsu's just having issues getting the ball to land on the table.
That's the issue that you're going to come across when you give me a lesson tomorrow morning.
I'll keep the ball a little bit higher so you won't have the difficulty that Pinto's giving him with every ball just at net height.
Yeah, folks, this is the big news. Don't worry, it's not going to be filmed. But Olympian Sean O'Neill is going to give the novice Evan Lepler probably tomorrow morning a table tennis lesson. It'll be the first table tennis lesson of my life.
And he'll be officially in the pool of players that they can choose from.
Yeah.
Not on the headset tomorrow night. It's because I'm playing second singles for the Carolina Gold Rush. Where are we going to start? What's the first thing we're going to work on?
Grip.
Okay. Do you think I'm a shake hands or a pen holder?
You're shaking hands. No question about that.
But you've never seen my pen hold.
It's okay.
I'm holding the pen right here. Do you see this?
The paddle I brought for you was shake hands.
Thank you for that, by the way.
And Pinto's just continuing to have his way. Koyo has nothing to work with. Finally getting on the board after 4 serves. An open court there for Koyo to just play, but no rhythm.
It certainly is a little ironic that you think back to Daytona Beach for this Princeton team, and the player that finished with their best singles record in a Princeton jersey was Sonora Silva, who was a free agent who just signed with the Bay Area Blasters. So he's making all sorts of history, being the first MLTT athlete to play for 2 different teams.
We knew, based on his play, that some team was going to be smart and clever and claim him off of waivers, I guess. So
Revolution with 2 different players in their singles lineup today. Dushan Leong played 3 super close games against Sasha Hanin, but dropped 2 of the 3. And here Kanamitsu trouble against Pinto, down 6-2 and in danger of getting swept.
this will be a big sweep here and definitely helping Chicago going into the Golden Game. Nice little lead. Big point, keeping a 3-point lead. Nice third ball attack by Pinto.
Just when Koyo was maybe getting a little hope. Back to a 2-point game with a couple serves coming up here for Kanamitsu. This is a pivotal point that's on the line here. 8-4 or 7-5 going into the last singles match.
Again,
toughness.
Yeah, Kanamitsu unable to get a good turn on the ball. And that's a great reloop by Pinto on the forehand side, just really moving the ball around nicely, staying on the offense.
That was nice.
When both players are playing their big shots, that's what you might expect. But so far, Pinto has been playing perfect tactics to mix it up. Just needs to close the deal right now.
Caught. 9-8. Timeout, Chicago. Where's the energy from the Princeton bench?
Pinto's side, Chicago win, Coach Eric Owens.
I think they're surprised that Koyo isn't landing any of his easy shots. He's making some big ones.
Yeah.
But basically, you don't have the luxury of waiting till the third or fourth game to get into the match because it's only the best of three with all three games played. 11-5, 11-4, those are blowouts.
Is back and ready for the action, but the timeout is only up after 1 minute or when the players team called the timeout.
September, more than 72% of all games were decided by 5 points or fewer, which is to say that just basically just over a quarter, 11-5 or more lopsided than that. This one's certainly in the close category here in game 3. And it's 9-all.
Can Pinto deliver a combination here to get his forehand in?
This is a huge point. Pinto gets to 10-9.
And just sheer fighting to get that first offensive ball going.
You're hearing a grunt on every swing right now, just trying to get to the finish line. 1 point away from the 3-0 sweep. And it's over. A masterclass here in Myrtle Beach from Daniele Pinto as he sweeps Koyo Kanamitsu 11-5, 11-4, 11-9.
Just a tremendous fight by Pinto. As I picked Koyo to win, just Pinto from the first point on didn't give an inch, kept the momentum going, and got the W for Chicago.
Already knows the drill. Came out here playing smooth today in this third singles match. So entering the arena,
So Daniele Pinto, after going 1-5 in singles a month ago, starts this Myrtle Beach weekend with 3 consecutive victories. Outscores Kanamitsu 33-18. Gets 3 big points for the Chicago win. Daniele joins us now. Congratulations, Daniele. That was impressive. Much closer in game 3, but overall, from where we sat, you played really well. How did you feel about how you played?
Thank you so much. I was, really prepared for this match in Myrtle Beach because after Daytona I was a little bit not happy with my performance. So I came here with a lot of expectation and happy to get this match.
What did you work on over the past few weeks to get ready for this weekend?
I work a lot on my open games, trying to make many long service and be ready to play the rally. Because in Daytona with close game was not so easy to win points. In this big hole, the ball coming slower. So I work on open games, long service, and run, and play forehand, all table.
And did your coach, Eric Owens, mention the significance of trying to win 3-0 versus a 2-1 victory and how it affects the overall team performance?
Yeah, of course, on 2-0 this timeout was really important for me because I was losing some points, so concentration. So I tried to keep going with the long service and play to middle because it was expecting more with backhand, and happy that I could take it.
Well, 3 big points for your team. Congratulations. I'm sure that feels good after what transpired in Daytona Beach. We look forward to seeing you in the Golden Game here shortly, Daniele. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Daniele Pinto, a 3-0 win in the third singles spot for Chicago. So an 8-4 lead. Chicago guaranteed to have an advantage heading into the Golden Game. The question now is how wide that advantage will be. And this fourth singles match features Dan Liu going against Matthew De Santillan. It's a rematch of what we saw in Daytona Beach a month ago, Sean.
But if you see the grip now for Dan Liu, he's using a shake hands grip where it's both the forehand and backhand on opposite sides now. In this match, he's going to be going to his traditional penhold grip, which is how he learned the game. He can hit the ball on the opposite side, but you'll see most of the balls hit with the black side when the ball goes to both the forehand and backhand, especially on the pushes.
1-0.
Quick 1-0 start. Miss hit from De Santillan on the return. What were your thoughts when you learned that Dan would be switching grips?
I was actually surprised in Florida that he was playing shake hands. I thought coming into MLTT he would definitely go back to penhold because that's where he's had his greatest success as a player. Just gives him a lot more power, gives him a lot more flexibility on the serve and serve return, but he likes the shake hand, so he gave it a shot.
The world of table tennis goes about 80% shake hands, 20% penhold, or
Might even be up in the 90s.
really?
Yeah, at one point there was a rule for the Chinese team. They'd always have to have at least one on their team because it was such an uncommon style to play against.
Okay.
There's been a couple countries that have continued to use it. Korea, Japan, Brazil played some. Even back when I was playing Yugoslavia, the old Serbia and Croatia had a couple very great penhold players.
Well, Major League Table Tennis, it's Hong Lin, it's Tao Zhang, Dan Liu. Anybody else I'm forgetting?
I think there might be one or two that haven't played that might be number 7 or 8 on the team.
Change interpretation. If table wiggles, it's okay. If tables physically move off where it started, then it's moving the table.
So they're having a discussion right now where the coach of Princeton is saying that the table is moving, and the discussion is whether it's shaking or actually moving. It doesn't physically move at the foot level. There's an interpretation by the match umpire to determine whether play has been adjusted or made to where the ball isn't predictable. But you can lean against the table. Sometimes that small amount of movement can be interpreted as shoving it.
When you say you can lean against the table, what do you mean?
Your legs, you see how close the players are when they're serving. They can have their leg or their pants, their shorts touching the table. And
but you can't put your
non-playing hand, right?
Yeah.
That left hand, if you're a righty, can't be on the table. You can't use it for leverage when you're smashing. But you can touch it with your right hand and the paddle for the righties. Same left-handed paddle for the lefties.
Have you ever jumped on top of the table mid-match?
A lot of winners do that afterwards. I don't think I've ever done it after a match that I've won or lost, but definitely I've seen a lot of world champions and World Cup players and even Olympic gold medalists do their final summit that they climb after winning the last point.
Why not? 7-4 lead for De Santillan. De Santillan in singles was 4-5 in Daytona Beach.
That's a beautiful counterattack there. Very strong. You don't expect that from a defensive star. to be able to loop 4, 5, 6 balls on both the backhand forehand as he's flipping the racket or twiddling it between shots.
He's just pesky. He just doesn't go away. Defend, can attack. And he's on his way, barring a crazy comeback, to a Game 1 win here.
Now, if Dan Liu would have changed his shake hands after the first game, it'd actually be difficult because you have to keep the same racket. His rackets are completely different. That time, Matthew said that ball touched his body, which again, the sportsmanship in table tennis, similar to golf, players will call errors against themselves that maybe the umpire didn't see. But then you get rewarded by the table tennis gods with an edge ball.
How about that?
It's the karmic level of table tennis.
Absolutely. Game point. He was like, I'm going for this one here.
No reason not to.
Liu wins the big battle of four hands to get within 3 at 10-7. Still game point for Desantillan.
Missed it.
He had it on his racket. He went for the backhand loop. But this game is not over right now. Dan Liu taking his time, really working the points well, not going for any risky shots whatsoever.
That'll do it.
What a beautiful deep serve. Went offensive on the serve with heavy spin. It just caught Dan Liu completely flat-footed, trying to push a topspin serve back. Just sails long.
Touches anything that's not your hand holding the racket between the wrist and the fingertips, or the racket.
So an 11-8 win in game number 1 for
forehead, whatever
Matthew
it may be.
Desantillan.
So that was very fair play. And then he got the next ball edge coming
Now
back.
5-5.
Some of us believe karma might be a real thing. Some
Singles
ICTK,
matches,
some
Major League Table
karma.
Tennis.
Other than that, you remember that one
Let's
rally
go back
where
to
he
the
attacked 2 in a row
moment
with his
that led to the
forehand,
conversation
green
between
then on
Matthias
backhand
Havassan.
to attack, and then back to
He was
forehand.
watch the left
Can you
knee of
imagine making
Dan
those
Liu
shots,
here.
let alone deciding which way to twist
Does it
your
move
racket
the
before
table?
hitting those? It is crazy. This is a person you want as a designated
It's definitely
driver
shaking
if you
it.
ever
You look
need
at the
one.
net, it's
Just
going up
saying.
and down.
So right
Did
now,
it
many
move it
players are
back
gonna go
and forth is
practice
what
while
the
they like to
umpire
support
was,
their team. The best thing
that
they
was
could
his
be doing
position.
is heading to that practice hall,
What do
because
you see on
Golden
that
Game
replay?
is coming up, and it's unlike any
I didn't see the
other
net coming
format
forward and
in
back.
the
I saw it
world.
going up
That's
and down,
because
so
players are going to be rotating
I would have to
rapidly,
say
coming
that
into
got to go with
play
the
at
umpire's
most
call.
4 points.
And as a player,
I'll tell you more
when
about
something like
in
that
a bit.
happens, you just play
It
the
is
point
game
out like
number
nothing
2 of
happened.
our
You never
jumper
stop.
from
You never
Rhythm Revolution.
put your hand up and call
After
let
Sundar
yourself, because
Milan,
you'll lose the point
Christian
immediately.
now penholder, USA
In your entire
strong.
career, were you ever
From
penalized
Chicago
for
in
inadvertently moving the
Japan.
table?
I'm sure I'd run into it. Maybe you're lobbing and they drop shot. You come running in and there's nowhere to go because they dropped it to the middle.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's one of those where voice goes up an octave, so you just try to run past the net, not into the table.
Liu takes the opening point here in game 2. Currently 8-5 on the team tote. It'll either be a 1-point lead, a 3-point lead, or a 5-point lead for Chicago heading into the Golden Game.
Going online and following all the comments, everyone, all the fans, and even the players have just said, nice backhand loop there by Desantillan, that it's all about the Golden Game. If you can go into it with a 5-0 lead, makes a huge difference.
Incredible point from Desant-Delon.
He gets down so low when he starts to counterattack with the forehand. Watch him bend his knees and just pull up and go through that ball. The heavier the topspin, the more you've got to actually lift it because it's diving down at your ankles so fast.
He's known for his underspin, but his topspin is powerful too.
I mean, this is the combination with Desant-Delon. Oh, great shot by Dan Liu.
That's a tremendous point. Really high level of table tennis right now.
And with Dan Liu, now he's got to try to do it again. I mean, it's like throwing the javelin like 10 times in a row without any rest. He's got to go for every single big shot. And it's going to get tougher and tougher because it's just, I mean, lifting weights. The more spin Dan Liu gives Desant-Delon, the more it comes back. He's using those long pimpled rubber. There's a little bit of reversing of the spin, plus he's adding his own to it.
Umpire calls a let.
Players should be thankful for that because they don't need to call let. They can just force you to lose the point by saying it wasn't a 6-inch toss.
We're back within one at 4-3. Regardless of what transpires in these next couple of games, Princeton Revolution are going to be searching for their first ever Golden Game victory. That's going to decide the match.
My goodness.
That huge backhand swing and follow through just left Matthew having issues with setting up the forehand afterwards. He had to switch that racket over to have the inverted or the smooth side on the forehand to keep the attacks going. The challenge with being a chopper is that one side of your racket is always going to be more defensive oriented with the long pips. For Matthew, the black side is his long pip side. Evan, you'll be using smooth on both sides, just to let you know that.
I'm going to work toward earning some pips.
This is fun. Big hitting, both guys deep off the table. And the battle continues, 6-5 for Desant-Delon.
I mean, you can see the ball break, how much side spin they're putting on it. Great placement by Dan Liu. That time played it more into the body instead of going forehand hooking loop to forehand hooking loop.
And really the question I have, Sean, for my own personal table tennis education is, when I played pickleball on Tuesday, I played tennis on Wednesday and Thursday. How much do those racket sports help me?
Big time.
Yeah?
Really big, because you realize you got to move your feet. And that's the one thing that a lot of table tennis newbies tend to plant themselves in the center of the table and reach. So you already are going to be ahead of all those guys knowing that there's forehand footwork and backhand footwork.
That's good to hear.
I don't know if it's true, but that's how we're going to work on it.
story in my week is true, but whether or not the footwork will be a positive factor for me, that is very much up in the air. Just like this middle game here in fourth singles. Up
Beautiful
in the air, Liu
placement.
takes an 8-7 lead.
What great placement by Dan Liu. That's the perfect place to go when you're attacking a chopper, right down the middle. Don't let them get to the side of the ball with their forehand or backhand.
Are you not entertained?
Just amazing play by the backcourt. Danley worked so hard to push DeSantalan off the table, and then DeSantalan just brings it right back with his offense, forcing Dan Liu to back off just to try to keep the ball in play. You could hear Dan Liu. He wanted that point badly.
Just a ton of individual pride and prestige on the line in addition to the team success. Dan Liu
He is
finds himself
screaming
within
right
1
now.
point of evening up this fourth singles showdown. And Pinto almost had his head hit the ceiling, hopping up in celebration. Thankfully, it's a tall ceiling here at the Myrtle Beach Sports Center. Game point. Best rallies of the night between Dan Liu and Matthew DeSantalan. And those two are even one game apiece.
Dan Liu just showing great patience, taking his time, working to get that forehand to land. Full body swings. Finally one outside the reach of DeSantalan.
All that aggression with topspin in mid-point attacking, right? It's incredible. How much fun is it?
So they trade 11-8 scores back and forth.
Attention to detail, Daniel.
Now it's a matter of will it be a 3-0 lead or a 5-0 lead at the start of the Golden Game.
And it's worth doing everything within Dan Liu's power to win this game just to help his teammates have that extra 2-point advantage, especially if they can instantly jump and add some more.
At the start of the Golden Game. It depends on how this game goes here. Matthew DeSantalan on shopper from Princeton, Washington, and Chicago wins zone, Dan Liu.
Do both these players take the table for this third game expecting really long rallies, or does one maybe thinking to try to end points a little bit more quickly?
Dan Liu would love to finish points quickly. Matthew DeSantalan wants to play 15 to 20 shot rallies if possible, and then to add some offense to it. You can see that ball hit the net. Dan Liu pushes it, flies off the end of the table, not into the net, but so much spin on the ball.
Frustrating way to finish that first point. He recovered.
Great angle there by Dan Liu. Any short balls are going to allow Dan to get more angle wide out to the forehand or to the backhand. so nasty to have a chopper get a ball and just loop it by you or put pressure on you. There's no place to hide. They give you an underspin ball, you can just push it back and then they come at you with offense.
Like that, but that missed. 2-2.
Usually when choppers are attacking that early, it's because they've lost confidence in their defense, but I haven't seen that so far. That's a nice block on the backhand, but Matthew's forehand is so solid. You'd never know he was a defensive player when you're getting into these counter-looping rallies forehand to forehand.
That's a great point. Because he looks like a natural attacker in those situations.
A great technique, good form, good balance. And the backhand as well.
Turn that point from defense to offense pretty quick.
And it's so frustrating to play against that type of player because you think you've got them figured out, and then all of a sudden they change their game on you. Now you got to play them as an offensive player, which doesn't lend itself to putting pressure on a defensive player. So truly a combination nightmare.
Caught the edge.
So that's how you handle it. You just hit a couple back edges off of deep serves.
That type of fortune could decide this third game.
Super heavy underspin. They're about, say, 16 feet back. Just loading up the spin. Great first attack by DeSantalon, but unable to keep it going.
Was there a little indecision on that shot there?
Yeah, the second one, I think his foot might have either extra grabbed a little bit or he wasn't sure if he could get around the ball. I was just looking at both benches and I was like, where is everyone? They're getting ready for the Golden game.
Yeah, the benches are empty right now except for the coach and the alternate for today. Ichi Wong and Alex Kazaku. We'll see them both tomorrow. Missed it.
Those are just quality chops by DeSantalon. Bringing it back, changing the height, just really digging at the ball. Oh, so smart. DeSantalon gets that first loop in and then just continues the onslaught. Just nice chop, turn it over to loop, another loop into the backhand side, and that's the weakness of the penholder grip off the table. Not going to be able to really attack from there. Just an over hit there by Dan Liu.
All of a sudden, DeSantalon's opened up a 3-point lead.
And some nice strokes here, but just going for too much.
Question I have, who's going to step up for Princeton in the Golden game? Who's the guy or girl that might put the team on their back and say enough is enough? Could be Matthew DeSantalon. Certainly Yevgen Prisheppa.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to count Mr. Fishetta off or Jishan Liang. It's all going to come down to the matchups. Oh, that's a nice serve return by Dan Liu.
9-6. Liu's got 2 net cord winners in this 3rd game.
Oh, that was a nice smash there.
All of a sudden it's 9-7 and he'll have a couple serves.
Dan Liu should win one out of these 2 for sure. Can he take both of them is the question.
He needs them.
There's one.
It would just be poetic justice to make a 10-10 golden point with these 2 great players.
Traded 11-8 first 2 games. Santalan took 2 out of 3 against Liu a month ago.
What hitting from Matthew de Santalan to set up game point.
Just so strong on the forehand-to-forehand counter loops. You can't tell which player is the defender when they get into these exchanges. Just spinning it up, again using great legs, heavy side spin. Dan Liu he has to cover the wide forehand. Very frustrated at the end of that one. Oh, that was a great serve return and then a powerful forehand. Santalan made a heavy side topspin, but then he took it quick off the bounce, forcing a weaker chop, then he just jumped on it.
Liu with his back up against the wall. Another game point for de Santalan.
Going on the attack. Works out for Matthew de Santalan. For the 2nd time in as many months, the Frenchman takes 2 of 3 over Dan Liu.
And again, going for offense, deep serve, and then the quick step around, out to the backhand side. Perfect position. Going to the revolution.
So different grip, but same result for Dan Liu.
And much closer than we have to admit it wasn't. Dan Liu was just happy to get into the rallies. He has been putting a lot of pressure on Santalan, but again, point for the revolution. Excellent play.
So it'll be a 3-0 lead, which means the opening player will be a part of just 1 point. And I think the trailing team, which is Princeton, will select the opening player. Let's go down to Flint Lane, the commissioner of Major League Table Tennis, to set the order.
Chicago Wind is up 9-6. We'll be starting with a 3-point edge. Princeton Revolution, you'll be picking the first player who will play 1 point. Who is your first player? Jishan
coach Eric Owens for Chicago Wind.
Jishan Liang is first. Who are you facing up against Jishan?
Famous brother of Daniel Habasson, one of Austria's top players. And currently, between him and Robbie Gardos, the 2 top players. So what they're doing is they're deciding the order of the 5 players to play.
I need your pick.
One team, being Chicago Wind, is going to start with a 3-0 lead.
Who's your second
That
pick?
means the first players for each team only get to play 1 point, because then after that 1 point, the total is 4 points, and then they'll tag team. They'll send in the number 2 player for each side, and so on, and they'll rotate until one team has 21 points. Should it come down to 2020, Audra and I would be quite thrilled, because no, we won't. Why wouldn't we be thrilled, Audra?
Yefkin is your second pick. Who's your
Do
third
we?
pick?
We do. Well, thank you for speaking for both of us. No, I'm just kidding. That's cool. Chicago Wind, if I were a little bit, well, more partial I might feel the exact same way. But as a spectator right now, without my Carolina team in this,
Coach, your third pick
I would
against
say,
Matthew.
give me that ultimate golden point. That's what I want.
Fourth pick?
Now remember,
You have Emily
16
and Alex.
points
I'm sorry,
up
Emily
for
and
grabs. Whichever team wins this golden
Daniela.
game gets 6. All 6. Not 5 and 1, 4, 2, 3, 3, none of that. It is 6 and 0. So whether
Daniela,
it's
making Emily
the
your
lineups
final
are there,
player.
whether it's a 12-9
do you want to face off
victory
against
for
Daniela?
Princeton Revolution, and they could use it right now.
Koyo,
Or
making
whether it's
Angela
a
your
15
fifth
to
player.
6 win, these are the only 2 outcomes for the team
Already up on the
matchup.
board right now.
So the number 5 player for Princeton Revolution is Angela Guan, but starting off will be Daniele Pinto and
Alrighty, so you can see the matchups. It'll be Provost against Leong. They'll play 1 point to start. Then Hanin and Princeton will square off. Liu and Desantalan, a rematch of what we just saw. Pinto dominated Koyo in singles. We'll see if that continues. And then Tan and Guan and their contrast of styles. What do you think, Sean?
This is just super tight. I think it's 50-50. The question is, will the 3 points be enough for Chicago to keep the slight edge? But these players right now, 2 lefties, Jishen Liang, Damian Provost, 1 huge point.
Liang and Provost each went 1 and 2. Liang against Hanin, Provost against Princeton. 1 quick point goes to Liang. How about that?
Wow. Wow, look at the smiles on his face. He just went so deep.
So here's Princeton and Hanin. Both these guys took 2 out of 3. And yikes, a service error.
Wow.
How does that happen? Hanin does bounce back. Takes care of business on his second serve, but an opportunity here for Princeton. It's 4-2, now it's 5-2.
It's so difficult to come in just for 4 points. You don't get any real rhythm. Smart play by Princeton. He's got that heavy first loop in. Almost impossible to counterattack that amount of spin. That'll go off the end of the table all day long, and then we get treated with these 2 amazing players back for more.
You in Chicago with a 2-point edge.
You can hear Dan Liu.
Santillan's getting frustrated.
There's so much pressure on Matthew DeSantillan to come up with a big scoring point as a defender. Now he has a chance to possibly lose all 4. Nice underspin. That's a heavy, heavy chop.
Brings it back within 4 points. Serve now to Daniele Pinto with
Now we will see some more rematches.
8 serving 4. Long serve deep into the middle. 9 serving 4.
Pinto doing a great job of just keeping pressure on Koyo.
Daniele's had a day.
Playing outstanding. right shot. He's got to flip that topspin serve.
Service staying strong on both sides, 5-10.
And again, just playing good position. And now the ladies start. We are going to see attack versus defense right now.
Tan, the attacker, serving first.
That point showcased the contrast of styles, if any point ever did. Tan takes it, stretches the lead to 7 for Chicago.
That's what Angela wants to do. Mix up the spin, change the depth, and force a mistake out of Emily Tan. And that's an aggressive serve there. Emily has to do something with that serve. She has to attack it. She can't just push it. Smart. Excellent play by Emily.
She gets the 2-2 split. Which, Chicago gets 2-2 splits the rest of the way. They're feeling golden.
Comes in with the 13-7 lead and the serve.
Let's see if Damian Provost goes for the deep serve. I doubt it. It's going to be a little safer.
Wow.
Both lefties just giving some big hooks.
That's another point for the forward
needs to get some third ball attacks going. Oh, what a beautiful forehand touch flip down the line.
It'll look easy.
Provost looks so smooth on all of his strokes. And he got all 4.
Provost wins 4 straight over Jishan Liang. Now Haneen within striking distance of closing this out. Shepa absolutely needs to get 4 straight here for the Revolution.
Great serve by Haneen. Staying away from the backhand of Shepa. A lucky break there. Shepa had the ball that he wanted. He was in the driver's seat there. Just didn't win that final attack.
It's match point now for the Chicago win. After Damian Provost scored 3 4 straight. Haneen trying to do the same. And it's all over. Chicago rolls the Revolution in the Golden Game. 21-7. And the Wind feeling golden after this opening Friday night here in Myrtle Beach as they win it 15-6 over the Revolution.
A new second place team this season. Very strong performance. Standings will be on MLTT.com.
Chicago
All the info you need.
looked like more of a team tonight, Sean. Their different individuals stepped up, and this was a mighty impressive performance for the Wind. Daniele Pinto, Damian Provost, Sasha Hanin, all making plays. Let's chat with the victorious head coach, Eric Owens. Eric, thanks for joining us, and congratulations. I mean, you turned that Golden game into something of a laugher, but it really felt like the day changed when Daniele Pinto took the table in singles. How did he change up what happened in Daytona Beach to sweep and take care of business tonight?
Well, he didn't bring his girlfriend, so that's the first thing that we noticed. But no, I mean, that was a match we were very, very concerned about. We've been hearing a lot about Koyo, how strong he is. We were even thinking it's possible he could sweep Danielle in 3-0. So we were really hoping for 1 or 2 games. I think everybody was shocked that he won 3-0. So that right there turned everything around. It was a beautiful matchup for him. I think Koyo got very confused. And yeah, went our way.
So Eric, I have to ask you this. What did you think when Dan Liu told you he'd be playing penholder this week?
Well, I knew that coming in. So, I knew that he'd been a penholder for, 20 years or so. He had some good results playing shakehand. I think that gave him a false sense of skill level. I think when he was put under pressure in Daytona, it was just very clear that shakehand is probably not as natural. I mean, the game that he's been playing is penhold his whole life. And so we had a long conversation about it. I said, I know you feel pretty good shakehand, but under pressure, I just don't think that's right for you. And so we agreed that he should switch back to penholder. So he's been training for about 3 weeks. He's still getting used to it, but I think moving forward, he'll be penholder.
What are you most pleased about with your team's performance to start this weekend?
Oh, for sure. I feel like everybody was solid, but Danielle Pinto was the one that really, really rose to the occasion compared to Daytona. So without a doubt, he's the MVP of the night.
All right, we got the quick turnaround tomorrow, 4 o'clock against Carolina. Looking forward to seeing what you guys can do tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining us, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you.
Eric Owens, USA Table Tennis Hall of Famer, and the head coach of the Chicago Wind as Daniele Pinto, the team MVP on this particular Friday night. Sean put a bow on it for us. We saw Florida and Chicago take care of business to begin the second East Coast weekend here in Myrtle Beach.
Just the level seems to continue to rise with each matchup. Love the number 1 and 2 players starting out the evening and the afternoon for us. Can't wait for more tomorrow.
Yeah, it was certainly fun to get Enzo Angles and Daniel Gorak, the top 2 picks in the draft, going head-to-head against one another for the first time. We'll see those 2 guys tomorrow against different opponents. The Saturday schedule begins at 4 p.m. Eastern with Chicago and Carolina, and then Princeton and Florida in the nightcap at 7:30. It's the Crocs and the Wind victorious on this Friday night, but this MLTT weekend is just getting started. For Sean O'Neill and our entire crew, I'm Evan Lepler saying good night for now. We will see you tomorrow here in Myrtle Beach for Major League Table Tennis.